I'm just so thankful that it's led me to this point here in Seattle.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
The Patriots are used to winning.
The Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
It's a new era that we're trying to build, get back to what they created.
I ain't come this far just to come this far. Touchdown! You got to be kidding me. Perfect pass by Sam Darnold. Holy catfish. Ooh, let's go! Hell yeah! Hey, we're only down to the Super Bowl, baby!
3,000 miles away from that bridge, tens of thousands of Patriots fans are packed into a sold-out Gillette Stadium, rallying in single-digit temperatures to send the AFC champion Patriots off to yet another Super Bowl. This one feels different, though. There's no Brady. There's no Belichick. It's a new regime with two notable carve-outs, however. Head coach Mike Vrabel played there, and our Mike Reese continues to report there.
Drake Maye said that Mike Vrabel had players reflecting on the hopes that they shared with each other at the start of the season. Those hopes, Vrabel told players, are now becoming a reality. And that should really hit home today as the Patriots depart for the Bay Area and Super Bowl 60. But before they do, a send-off rally in front of fans here at Gillette Stadium, where the Dropkick Murphys are scheduled to perform. Vrabel, Maye, and team captains will address the crowd before the buses roll to the airport in the 11 o'clock hour.
Patriots are back in the Super Bowl after posting a 4-13 record last season. They are the sixth team to reach the Super Bowl after having 5 or fewer wins in the previous season, and the first since the 2021 Bengals, who lost to the Rams. And the man who is responsible for starting this entire Patriots nightmare that the rest of us have to endure, the man who was on the Jets sideline when Mo Lewis drilled Drew Bledsoe, is Herm Edwards. So the first question for Herm is, how dare you, sir? No, actually, both offenses, Coach, they rank among the elite, but so do the defenses. So where do you see a significant edge for either team?
And sometimes we overlook this in a game of this magnitude, but really special teams. And Marcus Jones has done an excellent job as a punt returner. He's averaging about 17 yards a punt return. Yeah. He's got 2 touchdowns, and he has 6 returns of 30 or more. So this is a field position game when you think about both of these defenses. But when you punt the ball to him, you better get him on the grass. You better get him on the ground, get him on the ground fast, because he can – those hidden yardage things add up in Super Bowls.
Yeah, no, he can flip the field for sure. And by the way, Jackson Smith and Jigba had nearly 1,800 receiving yards this season for Seattle. So, Coach, how do you approach that matchup with the Patriots defense?
Well, as good as Gonzalez is, you know, most people would think we're going to put him on JSN, but I wouldn't do that. I would actually put him on Cooper Kupp, and I would double team JSN. And that way you make them play to their third receiver. Because if your number one corner's on Kupp and you're doubling, obviously, JSN, it becomes a problem for Seattle to get the ball to 2 of their better receivers.
It's the first Super Bowl between teams that missed the playoffs in the previous season since 2003. That was the Patriots and the Panthers. Of course, the Patriots won that one. Coach, appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Glad you're with us on this Sunday. For the Pats, a morning send-off rally there at Gillette Stadium. Look at all the fans showing up. We all we need. They love to say that. Then an early afternoon flight to the Bay Area for Super Bowl 60. They were off Saturday. They'll have 4 practices this week at Stanford. And Drake Maye, it's been an historic sophomore season for him. He led the NFL in completion percentage and yards per attempt. Maye won 3 games last year as a starter. He's lost 3 games this year as a starter. He's also thrown 20 more pass touchdowns and has as many picks in 20 games this year as he had in 12 last year. And Drake Maye sits down with Kimberly Martin to discuss the AFC Championship game, looking to build his own name with the Patriots, and the possibility of seeing himself in the Lombardi Trophy.
Hey, it's hard. I know. Good God. Hey, listen, look at me. It's going to be hard, but look, this will be the most rewarding 6.5 minutes of our lives if we can get it done.
When you're mic'd up and you and Josh McDaniels are talking on the sideline and you say, man, this is hard. What was happening in that moment that made you have that thought?
We knew snow was possible, but right after halftime, we run out of the tunnel, and next thing you know, snow's just hitting you through the face mask. And I think it was just one of those scenarios where just reflecting on it, like, man, it's already tough enough to play, offense in this league, in the NFL as a quarterback. I think when the conditions and what's at stake and knowing the pressure and just knowing that you're reflecting on, like, man, this is tough and this is what it's about.
3rd and 5, 1:57 to go.
Fake by Maye. He's going to run it to the left. He's being chased. Tries to get outside. He does! He's got the first down!
That's how you do that! That's how you do that!
What is the play call? And then what do you think to do in that moment?
I won't share the exact play call.
Okay, that's fair.
Try to keep it in the building, but Coach McDaniels and the guys in the box upstairs saw a chance for me to keep it around the edge, and we said in the headset, hey, Drake, I want you to run the same play, and this time you keep it. I decided, man, should I tell the guys? Should I tell them or not? And I remember we had something earlier in the year where I told them that I was doing something and they didn't want to know, so I happened to not tell them this time and decided to keep it.
Coach, you good?
Yeah,
Look, Coach.
I know.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Good. Yes, sir.
Listen, we're just getting started, okay?
You talk about what's at stake, not just as a starting quarterback, but a starting quarterback for this franchise. Is that part of what is hard?
The best thing that I try to do is appreciate what the Dynasty and the Patriots have done in the past and just try to do what we can as a team and what we are now. Trying to build the 2025 Patriots and not worry about the past success, even though we appreciate and respect what they've done in the past. We're trying to make a name for ourselves.
What I find interesting about the conversation around you is people might say, well, if you look at the stat sheet, Drake's not balling out. However, in those moments, you provide game-winning plays, signature moments.
Downfield and caught for the touchdown, Kayshon Boutte.
Where does that come from, that ability to be calm, to be even-keeled, and yet rise to the occasion when you have to?
I think the biggest thing is just the confidence in myself and the confidence I kind of receive from my teammates. There's no better feeling than being out there in a huddle with guys that believe in myself and believe in each other.
What more do you want? To the Super Bowl, baby! To the Super Bowl!
Kind of grew up in a household with my older brothers where my dad always preached to us, you want the ball in your hands at the end of the game, or you want to be the batter up at plate, with the bases loaded in the last inning.
Takes the step. He stands in quarterback draw. Across the 5. Across the goal line right. Touchdown! That guy right there, Drake Maye.
I think he always kind of instilled that into our minds, and we've kind of carried that our whole career.
If you are lucky enough to be able to hoist the Lombardi Trophy and you see your face staring back at you, what do you expect that moment to be like? Do you even allow yourself to think about that moment?
It sounds surreal. I think it's one of those moments that you hope happens without you really thinking about it or dreaming about. It's one of those just kind of looking back on it. Hopefully it's man, that was special.
You don't want to jinx it?
Yeah, try not to jinx it, and you could also speak it into existence, but I'm more the type to not try to jinx it.
The smile there says it all. I mean, Drake Maye, hard not to love this guy. Dan, what are you seeing from his development? I pointed out some of the numbers even before that conversation that are just remarkable transition we've seen into his sophomore year.
Yeah, the biggest jump is his willingness and ability to throw the ball downfield this year. This is not something that's common in the NFL, to be this young player that chucks the ball downfield as well as Drake Maye has. And I think the thing that we saw early on in the season was, one, the connection with some of the receivers, and then two, the crossers that they build into their offense. Stephon Diggs has been such an addition to this football team, this quarterback, as far as, I'm going to get open, you can trust me in those moments. That's earlier in the season. Then we go to that massive upset on the road in Buffalo when late in the game, they have to get an aggressive hole shot. This is that turkey hole, 18 to 22 yards down the sideline. He sees the corner up top having vision on Pop Douglas in the slot. That's an aggressive throw. That's not a second-year quarterback in the NFL type of throw. There's a very small window, but the confidence that this young man displayed this year to make these put the ball in harm's way throws, and probably one of the, if not my favorite throws of the year, was this one against Tampa. He sees man coverage because the motion, safety's in the middle of the field. Tampa's set up to try and stop the run, the play action pass. And I would tell you that the defense in many ways wins this rep. This is good coverage, but Drake sees that the safety stays over the top. That's just an absolutely perfect throw. The ball placement has been elite. And so this isn't a quarterback that has been this RPO, dink and dunk, let's make it easy on him. He's been challenged to make big throws down the field, and he has all year. Obviously, he will need to again to be a Super Bowl champion.
What I take from him speaking with Kimberly Martin is the fact that he's made plays in very important moments down the stretch. Yeah, people are pointing to the statistics and saying that Drake Maye isn't playing out of his mind or playing at this MVP level, but whereas the New England Patriots as a team may have not played these juggernauts of teams, the defenses had been absolutely phenomenal from Los Angeles to Houston to Denver. And in each of those games, there's a play or plays you can point to Drake Maye or from Drake Maye that say Drake Maye went above and beyond and made plays to win the football game, whether it was his legs against Denver or the throws over the top to Kayshon Boutte against the Houston Texans, some of those opportunities to read the blitz and put the football right where it needs to be, or the big run against Los Angeles and the throw to Hunter Henry to give you the only touchdown. Drake Maye has truly grown this season, but not just as a football player, as a leader and as a clutch man of the moment. And he'll need that again against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I think the thing that really stands out, RC, we just watched the young man play, and on top of everything that you said, and just listening to him in Kimberly's interview, he gets it. He completely gets the gravity of the situation, the weight. I think he's one of those guys that's wired to run towards the challenge, run towards the noise, run towards the extreme of the situation. And he mentioned how he grew up. So I think the wiring of this young man is very special, not only for the position, but the position in New England.
Yeah, he's such a pro's pro. When we had him in the divisional round, he said a great line that was simple, but it was like, don't let the game get out of hand trying to win it too much. He understands that he doesn't need to do too much, which I know that sounds like coach speak at times. It's not.
Sure.
That's key in these big moments. Will be a big deal in the Super Bowl, too.
Yes,
we got
absolutely.
more coming your way. Oh, it is fun. Okay, let's get some Pro Bowl quick reads. RC, kick us off with someone you're really excited about being at the Pro Bowl games.
You know what? I'm excited to see Shedeur Sanders, see what type of player Shedeur Sanders is, what type of energy he has in these moments. This is a young guy's game. It's flag football, and it's fun. They get to toss the ball around and enjoy themselves. And I know he'll have the gratitude of being amongst some of the best players in the game. He's still a rookie. He's still learning, but he's on the big stage with the best players.
Yeah, RC, I'm going George Pickens. Listen, man, phenomenal season. Came in and did exactly what the Dallas Cowboys wanted him to do. Stepped up at times when CeeDee Lamb was unavailable, and now he's going to be at the Pro Bowl. I think this guy's career has settled. He's found his footing in the NFL, and he's starting to ascend to being one of the best wide receivers overall in the NFL. I'm looking forward to seeing him down at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, about to get a ton of money. I'm going to go with the guy who I kind of wish was still playing, obviously, in the Super Bowl is Puka Nacua. I think Puka had one of the just unbelievable seasons in football this year with everything that he was asked to do for this offense. The blocking in the run game, the way that they move him around, the different touches for the football. How much is he going to do in the flag game? Is he going to play quarterback? Is he going to play running back? Is he going to play defense? I think just watching him compete and be athletic is going to be a fun show on Tuesday night.
Hey, you guys mentioned some of these big names. I mean, it's really cool to see the league's biggest stars on the field in these 7-on-7 flag football game that we mentioned. Jamar Chase, another one. Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Hurts be out there. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff. Nacua, CeeDee Lamb, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, just to name a few, it really is the best of the best, as you would imagine. Let's dive in, though, a little more in this new style of Pro Bowl game. RC, this is going to be the fourth year that the Pro Bowl is played as a flag football game, and really that's going to be the centerpiece of this. What do you make of it being showcased as a flag game? You get to see all that fun and sort of getting you back to what got guys into this game in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And flag football is really taking over the country. I mean, flag football is going to be in the Olympics. And so I think even more so than tackle and that physicality, this is something all people can relate to, whether it's females or young kids. And even watching these professional play at this high level with all of this athleticism and explosion in a very safe way. So I'm excited to see it. It's brought out more fun in these games than we used to see, even though you've taken out the physicality.
Swag, there's some big fellas out there, too. We got a chance to see some big man balling out there in the 7-on-7 format. What's it like for a big fella to show off his athleticism in something like this?
Well, I mean, we all understand that that's really what we all there for. You know, like I understand we've talked about wide receivers and quarterbacks, but we're there to see we're there to see the 280 plus do these athletic things that no one think they can do. And more importantly, like all of us have an opportunity to be at the Pro Bowl. I think the coolest thing that I've witnessed since they've been doing this flag football game is how close the kids can get to the players and see their faces and shake their hands, how hyped they get when they do something crazy, like make a crazy catch or something like that. That's been the most fun for me. I think all encompassing, that's really what this is about, especially when you start talking about the young fans that have the ability to show up. Remember, y'all, Dan and RC, we all played in this league, and people told us all the time, man, I didn't know who you really were without your helmet on. This is a perfect opportunity to identify your favorite players, see them up close and personal in a more relaxed setting. I think that's the coolest thing about it for me, and I think that's the coolest thing about it for the kids that are there as well.
Yeah, I think, I call this game with Kelsey and Van Pelt, and so, which is an honor. And I think the personalities that get to shine out of these guys is really cool. I think that there's guys that get to be a part of the Pro Bowl and in this flag game that maybe aren't your, household names to the rest of the country. And so now it's an opportunity for those guys to, one, let their guard down a little bit, be around some guys in a setting that maybe isn't as intense or as competitive while it does get to that at the end of the game, and just kind of allow their personalities to shine. I think the league is full of so many good dudes. And that's one of the things, Marcus, that you're kind of talking about is these fans get the opportunity to see these heroes, that these people that they place on these pedestals in a little bit more of a normal person setting. I think that's a really cool part of the flag game.
It's going to be a fun night. 8 Eastern, Tuesday night on ESPN. Michelle Beisner-Buck and I will be on the sidelines, so we'll be covering that as well. And there's always all kinds of antics going on down there. It's going to be a real treat. So tune in. Don't miss it. NFL Live also will be there before all this gets going. We got it all covered for you. Coming up, 60. Sam Darnold, by the way, listed as limited with his oblique injury in practice yesterday. But Mike McDonald said he's going to play the game. Of course, it's just a matter of doing everything possible to get him as healthy as they can before game time a week away. And what a journey it has been to get to this point for Sam Darnold. His first 6 seasons in the NFL, nothing like the last 2, right? Darnold has more wins, touchdowns, and game-winning drives in the last 2 seasons than the rest of his career combined, despite nearly 20 fewer starts. And you may have forgotten, Sam Darnold's been to a Super Bowl before. He was Brock Purdy's backup with San Francisco. You may have also forgotten that Sam Darnold was already having stints with the Jets, Panthers, and Vikings before this season's magic carpet ride with the Seahawks. Here's Alex Smith with Sam Darnold, who has now definitely erased the bad memories since 2018.
9 seconds left. Stafford looks, fires, ball is caught. Puka Nacua slides out of bounds. No, clock keeps moving.
Going back to last week, last play of the game, what was the first thing you felt in that moment?
It's special, man.
Seahawks win, and the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
You put in so much work through, from April, we have this dream of going to the Super Bowl, and now living it out. There's all those emotions that come with winning.
You play like nearly flawlessly.
I definitely wouldn't say flawlessly, man.
Pretty close, man.
Rams rush. Sam steps up, goes back inside. Cup makes the catch. Touchdown, Seahawks!
For me, it was just going out there and doing my job.
How about our quarterback?
Has it sunk in at all, man? Like the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It really is. Like, I'm enjoying this process because it is a 2-week process up to the game, and being able to kind of breathe and let it sink in that, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl, it's a big deal, but when you enjoy it throughout the couple weeks, I feel like that'll kind of help my mind a little bit, ease my mind a little bit going into the game.
You went to the Super Bowl a few years back, right? Like, have you relied on that experience at all, right? Like,
as a backup as
obviously
well.
Very different, yeah, but has that been helpful?
Yeah, definitely. Even just talking to some of the guys, we were all kind of talking about what we should pack and if we should check a bag, like all these different things that are kind of, the little things that people don't realize we go through or think about. And I was like, nah, guys, like, I think we're good. Like, they'll give us a couple jumpsuits, some track suits to wear while we're there. But, it is going to be a little bit different being a starter.
Darnold throws one towards the goal line, and it's intercepted. Unbelievable.
Your story as a whole at this point is remarkable, man.
The New York Jets select Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
Kid getting drafted, right? Like, huge expectations, traded, benched. Was there like adversity or a stage that was the toughest?
Getting, traded to Carolina, that was a tough one for me. Just being brutally honest, like thinking, top 5 pick, I'm gonna, change the culture, go out there and get control of the AFC East and go win playoff games. Like, that's always the vision, right? So when that doesn't work out, it's like, oh shoot, man, like that sucked. There's a million thoughts that go through your mind, like, oh, am I gonna be a backup for the rest of my career? Thankfully I got another opportunity in Minnesota to show the world and myself what I could do.
He pumps, fires to the end zone, touchdown!
Your QB class that you come in with, it's like you're forever linked with. You're tight with Josh, I know that, right? Like, you played with Baker. You're the first one going to the Super Bowl, man. Like, how does that feel?
Just understanding how, scarce these opportunities can come. I don't know when I'm going to have another opportunity to play in a Super Bowl, so I think just enjoying the process and preparing like heck to go play a really good Patriots team.
Just such an amazing journey, right? There's so many different ways you can look at this. And Dan, Darnold's another quarterback we probably were not expecting at the beginning of the year to be in the Super Bowl. What have you seen from him? What do you like from him in the Seattle offense that has gotten them to where we are today?
My favorite part of that sit down with Alex is when he talks about his time in Minnesota and he said, prove it to everybody and prove it to myself. And there was a little bit of him proving it again once this year to everybody that was watching this football team. And I go back to the game that kind of stood out the most to me. It was early on, we were like, oh, this team loves to put tight ends on the field and go underneath the center. And Sam Darnold's really equipped skill set-wise, and him and JSN to be able to throw the ball downfield in a unique way. That 12 personnel, that 1 back, 2 tight end, the under center, play action pass. Talking to him this year, Laura, about what was the biggest part of his game growth-wise in the offseason. He said, when we get shots down the field, I have to hit them. It can't just be a miss. And I think about that Jacksonville game. That was a good competitive game for part of it. And when they took shots down the field, Sam Darnold didn't miss. You saw it with the deep post. Here's that play action pass, the throwback. And it's kind of been the story of this back end of the season for them. The Rams come back, the playoffs. Once again, the Rams win the NFC Championship game. When Sam Darnold now gets a chance to take that shot and really put a dagger in the defense, he hits it. He's not known for his mistakes anymore. He's actually known for the big plays.
Yeah, Dan, I love that you brought that up. For me, it's more about the mentality. I'm doing. We all got kids that, and Boogie, your young ones will play sports. Mine play sports. Dan, your kids, RC as well. Everybody, and you think about just the ability to reshape your confidence.
Yeah.
And it's 2 words that come to mind when I think about Sam Darnold. It's resolve and confidence. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people talk about having confidence when they play sports. But it truly is a superpower when you really do, because he could have said, you know what, I'm going to be a career backup. I'm a bust. I'm not living up to what I was drafted as. But he kept showing resolve. He kept taking swings every time he got up to bat. And I think that's what this is really about for Sam Darnold. And from a football standpoint, what I'm leading to, why would you change anything in the Super Bowl? Like Sam Darnold, we talked about the run game. Going into that NFC Championship, the run game, and they need to get it going. Clint Kubiak put the football in Sam Darnold's hands. He said, Sam, you have to go win this game. And he delivered. And I think the resolve and the confidence that he's been playing with since actually leaving Minnesota on to now is the reason why he finds himself in the Super Bowl.
Guys, Sam was the 3rd pick in the NFL draft, so obviously he is physically very talented. I truly believe his greatest talent is resiliency.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I just wanted to load this up really fast, you guys. When we met with him earlier this season on Monday Night Football, he said the reason why he's been so resilient is because of his parents. His dad's a plumber, his mom is a PE teacher. And he said when things would happen to them in the world, they'd get angry about or at work, they'd come home and they'd always be the same. That was the motivation that allowed him to be resilient through some of the tough times in his NFL career. Guys, considered the league's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton